What's up, Battletech fans? Here we are with yet another unboxing video for you, but this time, Jeff, it's finally arrived, our Kickstarter Mercenaries order. Holy cow, we're really doing this! So we've waited, what, like a year and a half, I want to say, for this?
I'd say, yeah, I think so.
And we went in on the regiment status. We split that right down the middle. You got all the stuff that you wanted. I got all the stuff I wanted, plus some duplicates. But you know that the big thing I've been excited about for this the entire time is the vehicles, baby. We're going to get some tanks. We're going to get some combined arms games going on, and I am super pumped about that. So, I don't want to waste too much of anybody's time. Let's get right into the action, and we've got the Assault and Cavalry Lance for you, Daddy. The glare's going to get you. There it is, baby. The Assault and Cavalry Lances. What do we got in here? We got 2 Shrek PPC carriers. Looks like 2 Demolishers.
Those are beefy.
We got a couple of these. Oh, they're Condor heavy hover tanks and 2 Pegasus Scout hover tanks. So that's what we got. Let's crack these bad boys open. All right, so here we got our full spread, the Assault and Cavalry Lance, the Shrek PPC carrier. Just absolutely one of my all-time favorites. Everybody knows Shrek is love. Shrek is life. We got our Demolishers, also a big fan.
I like Demolishers.
And Natch, we got Banquo. Right here we got the Pegasus. Super duper fast. Very much looking forward to getting that on the table. Then we got our Condors. The California Condor, baby. Let's get a focus. Yeah, there we go. Hover tanks are just the boss. They're one of my favorite kinds of tanks to use as harassment tanks. And
they are.
Harassment vehicles to snipe, things like that. Demolisher. So sexy. Can't wait to double Gauss rifle somebody's cockpit one day.
Overkill.
That's right. We have them all. Goblins, Pattons, even Demolishers. You want it, we got it. All right, Assault and Cavalry Lance, Jeff. How you feeling about these Vs?
They're solid. I definitely want to see them on a table.
Talking about some other stuff we want to see on the table, we have got the Battle and Fire Lance coming at you next, baby. The Battle and Fire Lance. What do we got in this bad boy? We got 2 Vedette medium tanks, 2 Manticore heavy tanks, along with 2 LRM carriers, 2 SRM carriers with turrets to make 4 of each. No assembly required. All right, let's crack it.
All right.
All right, and the Manticore is what we call the man whore here in town, just because it be out there screwing everybody. Just one of my favorite heavy tanks, absolute beast on the battlefield. We got our Vedette. This is kind of like any time I think of just a basic tank that you might see on today's battlefield, I kind of think of a Vedette.
Yep.
You know, just something like that.
Solid.
Natch. You got to park the SRM carrier around a building and light them up, light them. Oh, shucks, I just got a copyright strike. We don't want to have any of that business. And then we got the LRM carrier. Park them and bark them on a hill, make them fight in the shade, baby. I tell you, I am excited about this Lance pack. How do you feel about this?
Oh, I like these guys.
Check these turrets out. Man, these turrets are dope. So you can just kind of switch them around, mix them and match them, sort of however you want it to do them.
Huh.
And it's pretty nifty, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I like it.
Yep. I'm getting some ideas in my head right now, and you know that's dangerous for me. All right, but we've done some Vs. Kind of want to move on, kind of want to do something different. Let's do some Legendary Mech Warriors. The Legendary Mech Warriors 2, the sequel. I'm trying to get it where there's no glare, LOL. But what do we got here? We got Calandre Kell's SM-1 tank destroyer from the Killhounds, Marcus Barton's Devastator from Big Mac on the Attack, McCarran's Armored Cavalry, Jeremiah Rose's Charger, very nice, Abdun Recall's Marauder, and it has 2 dorsal gun options here, it says, and Marcus Giovanti's Caesar from Avanti's Angels. Heck yeah. See, this is going to be one of the things that I was going to use to have Jeremiah Rose's Charger in the Legends format, so that we can have at least 4 mechs in there capable of physical combat.
All right.
And I know that the Charger technically isn't what you would call a melee mech, but at the same time, the silly thing has a size 4, and you're trying to do an attack with that, physical attacks.
Oh, yeah.
So I count it as a physical attack.
Sure.
I don't care what anybody says. Let's have a look at this thing. All right, we got the Caesar. Check that out.
I like Caesars.
Oh, man. Caesar salad. Oh, no, wait. That's not what you're talking about.
I like Caesar salad too.
But yeah, Caesar's one of my favorite CES-3R. Solid. Doesn't have a lot of armor, like this guy. The Devastator. Big bad, and he's real mad. Look at that face. He's got that Fu Manchu going on. He's pissed off. He's coming at you. You better not bring that weak sauce Polly Pocket Build-A-Bear Kung Fu, otherwise he'll say I threw that shit before I walked in the room. We got the Mad with your missing dorsal there, so you can make whatever you want out of it, I suppose.
Yes. Okay.
Down that direction. Pretty
All
sweet.
right.
Comandre Kell's Tank Destroyer. It's got a big gun, and you know what they say, kids. Big guns never tire. And finally, the piece de resistance, in my opinion, Charger. Shout out to Bishop Steiner. Got to see one of these painted up at Gen Con. Oh man, it was absolutely gorgeous. Fantastic. All right. So your opinion. I know you don't do a lot of the legendary mech warrior business, so I know this isn't exactly what I would call your cup of tea, but still, just your opinion.
Well,
Coming out of the box, what do you think of this?
Well, I mean, they're solid units. I mean, I don't mind playing a Devastator or a Caesar or a Marauder when I'm playing in a sphere.
Sure, and on top of that, you can still use this Charger to represent the CGR3K, which is what I believe he was rocking at that time. So I believe Jeremiah Rose's Charger is a CGR3K. So, I mean, you can get a dual usage out of that if you just don't paint it to look like Jeremiah's Rose, or Jeremiah Rose's, because, like I say, that's what I saw them do at Gen Con, and it looked gorgeous.
Yeah, I mean, sure.
So I think it's a pretty solid force pack.
Yeah.
And we just did some legendary mech warriors, so let's continue down that tack with the legendary mech warrior Bounty Hunter. Now the Bounty Hunter, one of my all-time favorites, and I'm looking very forward to using some of these mechs at the upcoming Toronto Anime North Halloween party, where we've got a great Halloween game cooked up and ready for you. But you know me and how I am with Halloween. Got to play that close to the vest until we get closer to the day. But what I can reveal to you now is that the Bounty Hunter will be there live and in living color. He'll be in action with his team. Who's he going up against? He's going up against Rhonda Snord's Irregulars as they search for the lost Camelot Command. What will they find out there in the reaches of the deep periphery? Who knows? You'll just have to be there to find out. Let's take a look at what we got. Alrighty, so here we've got his Mad Cat, I guess.
Yeah.
Which is strange. I thought that had no LRM boxes on it. Maybe it's just like a different variant. But I mean, you know, a Mad Cat is a Mad Cat. What can you say? Loki. That looks beefy. Looks beefaroni. Don't you think?
Oh yeah, always a fan.
Now, this is an interesting Griffin here. You've got one with 2 LRM packs on it. I'm not incredibly familiar with this variant, so I think I'm going to have to go back and look through, kind of see what that's all about. And then over here, the Warhammer. Looking solid. I mean, you can tell it's a different kind of missile rack up there than what you would normally see on your standard everyday Warhammer. So that's kind of interesting. The Mad 2, I know Charles Ash will be a big fan of this one.
I like it.
Yeah, he's on the prowl. And then we got the standard Mad here, the Bounty Hunter Marauder that was rocking some particle cannons with double heat sinks on it. And we got that Focus Alamogocus action going for you. That's right, we spare no expense here on Battlebound at the Eye of the Tiger Studios. We only bring you the best, bringing you the most from coast to coast. So again, I have to come back to this question. How do you feel about this force pack, even though you're not necessarily a big Legends guy?
Oh, but it's clan though, so I'm all about putting those clan units on the field.
So as long as they're clanners, we're all good.
We're all good.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
Fine. Let's talk about the heavy battle and sweep lances next. You thought we were done with the V's. We got more cheese coming, and we're going to pour it on right now. What do we got in here? Looks like we've got a couple of patents. I can recognize those right off the bat. Let's see what else is in here. 2 Pike support vehicles, along with 2 J. Edgar hover tanks and 2 Drillson heavy hover tanks. All right. You know how I feel about the patent. Let's check it out. All right, so we're looking at our pikes right up here. Another triple barrel tank that isn't a Shrek, but it's kind of like a Shrek light.
Okay.
So it can have a pass. And then we have my favorite out of the entire thing right here, and that is the J. Edgar Hoover. I have used the J. Edgar Hoover to great effect. They live pretty much any time I get to use them. You know how it is. The Drillson, he's got his little wingalings there, because he's a hover tank, so he's got to zoom and be super aerodynamic, I guess. But we all know how I feel about the Patton, baby. Heck yeah. So all these look pretty neat. I think that the detail on these so far is on par with the stuff from the Clan Invasion Kickstarter at the very least, which was superb back then. So we're getting about halfway through here. We're not all the way there yet, but what are you thinking so far?
I like it, and I certainly want to see it on the field.
So let's take a little break from the force packs. Oh, he's going to be mad. So he's going to check out this carbon fiber mercenaries box. Oh yeah. How do you think of that?
It's pretty.
Man, and I think that this was only exclusive to the Kickstarter. So like, I'm trying to make sure y'all can see that little logo on there. If you didn't get it on the Kickstarter, I don't think that this will come to you. So I feel like I'm going to just leave the plastic on this. But let's have a look at what it comes with here.
Okay.
So you got 12 high-quality, fully assembled battle mechs, 8 and 4 vehicles, 2 full-color 18 by 22-inch paper maps that are double-sided, 2 punch boards of additional counters, 32-page rulebook, 16-page record sheet booklet, and a 16-page mercenary primer, laminated worksheets, double-sided laminated poster, 32-page fiction novella, 8 double-sided pilot cards, 12 double-sided Alpha Strike cards, heavy stock reference sheet, 99 battlefield support cards, and 2 6-sided dice for the low price of $74.99. Jeff, how do you feel about it?
It's a lot of stuff.
Do you feel like it's a good deal? Be honest with me. Just tell me what you think.
I would have trouble with $75, but probably, I suppose.
I could do it after some convincing. Okay, something like that. And you know what? You're getting, not only are you getting all that, but it's not just, it's what you're getting. You got a Devastator here, you got your Caesar, you got an Ostsole there, quick draw. I think that's a chameleon up there. I can't tell for sure, but that's a flea. I know Riley Centrella will be happy with that. So, you've got a real good smattering of stuff in here. I feel like for $75, I would do it.
Yeah.
But
I could be convinced into doing it.
I still feel like the original price point of $65.99 is $65 even. I think it used to be $64.99, and then it would come out to $65 and change. That's where it should stay, like for box sets. I'd give a pass to this one because there's so many extras in it. So I guess I can get on that same level with you.
Sure, yeah.
All right, talking about mechs, we gotta go to some more force packs with the Inner Sphere Pursuit Lance. What do we got in here? The Dervish, the Cicada, the Clint, and the Hermes 2. Now, these are some of my favorites. I know the Dervish is one of my all-time favorite light support units, even though it's a medium mech. It's got that 5.85 movement, 2 LRM-10s, so you're wanting to lob some missiles at a target that your bosses are firing at. But if anybody gets up close and wants to get squirrely with you, you got a couple of medium lasers and 2 SRM-2s. So you're carving holes, you're crit seeking. I know Jeff-ster and I don't agree on that point, but nonetheless, I still think it's a solid light support unit for a medium mech.
All right, yeah.
You got the Hermes 2, the Cicada. There's actually a PPC version of the Cicada. Let's have a look at this. So here's the Cicada. Hermes 2, cheer. Solid. I like the HER 4K myself.
They're fast.
We got us a Clint. Wah, wah, wah. Looking pretty solid. And last but certainly not least,
I like the Clint too. Or Clint GC.
Yeah, because it's clan.
Yeah, of course.
That's why I'm torturing you with all this Inner Sphere stuff before we get to the Glanners. Dervish looking solid. Love the new look on that.
They're good.
What I like the most about this is that with these mechs and several of the other ones that we have that we're getting with this, we are creeping kind of close to having like one of every mech in the original TRO 3025. in plastic, which that was one of my original miniature goals, like from a long time ago, was to have each miniature, except for the lambs and tanks and VTOLs and stuff, just the mechs, in all metal. You know, unseen and, you know, fully assembled and painted. Sure. And so this would be something you could do that with for plastic, where you'd have, okay, now we finally have Project 3025, but in all plastics. Right. So when I see these diverse mech selections like this, I don't necessarily think, why did they put that one in there? I just go, oh, great, that's another one to knock off this list. Right. So when you're creating Op4s, you have this huge selection of things that are available to you, and you never have to use the same thing 2 times in a row all the time. You can have a huge selection, so your opponents, as the players, never know what you're going to throw at them when you're the GM.
Right.
And now, the Heavy Recon. Heavy Recon, you've got the Charger, Ostrock, Merlin, and Assassin. Charger, you know my feelings on that, but the big one in this one for me is going to have to be the Merly. The Merly, fun fact. The Merlin was the original mech that they used as an example for how to construct your own mech in the original Battle Droids rulebook. It was the Merlin, and that was what they used as an example. So I only had a metal version of that one for the longest time, and I'm not sure whether that's in TRO 3025 or not. I think it is. I think I remember seeing the art for it, so it very well could be. But the 464 movement on a 60-ton mech, you've got a particle cannon, a couple of medium lasers. I mean, this isn't supposed to be a mech that you go toe-to-toe with, you know, the big bad hero or whatever, but I mean, definitely a harassment unit. Sure. Definitely good for support. It's in there just to kind of provide a little extra beefaroni where you need to apply it. Merlin's one of my favorites. Yeah. But you can't discount the Ostrock.
Those are good.
Oh man, 2 larges, SRM4.
Heat sinks to fire.
Heat sinks to fire a couple of those larges, but the Merly. He looks badass. He looks like he means business. Finally, he doesn't look weird and got all these weird round edges. Nah, this guy's so sharp he'll cut a bitch. That's what we're looking for. Assassin. Bishop Steiner's other baby. He has several, but this is one of his absolute favorites. And you know what? I got to give him his props on that one. Assassin is as good as he says. And if you don't know how to use it, well, that sounds like a you problem. Now we have the Charger, but this is the original one. The Charger with the pop gun smalls.
Oh, okay. Things
of that nature. But I mean, you know, aside from it not being a CGR3K, you're having a basic Charger now, so I think that looks pretty sweet.
Right.
So all in all, a pretty solid force pack, again, with some pretty diverse options in there.
Yeah.
This will fill out a lot of holes in that TRO.
Oh, sure, yeah.
But which out of this would you say is your favorite? Would it be the Ostrock?
I would probably go with the Merlin, actually.
Oh, another fan of the Merlin. Wow, I honestly expected you to say the Ostrock. No, just because of the 2 larges and the heat sinks to shoot them.
I mean, that's solid, but I would go with the Merlin.
The Merlin jumps, so I mean, you can't take that away. And then we've got the Inner Sphere Security Lance. Security Lance has a Scorpion, Vulcan, Whitworth, and Jaeger mech. Now, this is one I've been waiting to get my grubby paws on for a hot-ass minute because it's got that Scorporino in there. And I can use that Scorpion to represent the F-35C Blizzard Gunner in my Fang of the Sun Dugram-themed Alpha Strike game. Up until then, I had a 3D print that was made by a friend of the show, Pretzel Bear, but I was looking for something that looked kind of a lot more like the other stuff that he'd printed for me, and this particular Scorpion just fits that bill for me. So ever since I saw that 3D model come out on the Kickstarter updates, I was like salivating. Let's have a look. So our good friend, the Jaeger.
Cool.
Yeah, I know everybody says this machine is bad, but I mean, I gotta be honest with you. If you use this thing in its intended role, it actually can perform quite well. The Vulcan lives long and prospers because he's so fast. I love how skinny and gangly they made this thing look with that, like, protruding head right there on the front. That's pretty sick. I'll get to the best when I get to the last. We'll get to the Witty next. Witty is a solid mech. It's got 464, 2 LRM-10s, 3 medium lasers, one of which is head-mounted. So, I mean, as long as you're not looking at ammo explosions, this guy has a gun he can fire at you until he is no more. And the piece de resistance of the pack to me is the Scorpion. Here I am. Block you like a... Oh, sorry, that's not the song I was thinking of. Don't want to get them copyright strikes, you know. Look how sexy that thing is. I don't know how I'm going to get it on there if I want to take that little plastic rod there in the middle out, but man, I don't think that's going to bug me too much. I know that bugs some people. So if that's one of you, leave your answer in the comments as to why, because I'm very curious as to why the little plastic rod in the middle bothers you. You can satisfy that curiosity for me and do me a kindness. I'd greatly appreciate it. Jeff, what do you think?
I like them.
Vulcan, solid machine. Jaeger, you know, okay, it gets a lot of hate. If you kick back, and there's a couple of variants of the Jaeger mech in the 3050 era, especially the one with the Ultra 5 cannons.
Sure.
And I think it's got a couple of LRM 15s on it. I mean, that's a solid machine. At that range, you're plunking these guys with missiles and autocannon fire while the big heavy hitters are up there on the firing lines really taking it to them. So I feel like the Jaeger mech gets far more hate than it actually deserves. And the rest of these mechs, I don't think anybody hates. I think they're all solid and pretty well speak for themselves. But the Jaeger is the one I always end up sticking to. And now, a very special treat for me anyway, the first Somerset Strikers Force Pack. Now, as we know on the channel here, I recently painted Vulcan Rider's Bushwhacker, so I'm going to be very excited to paint this one up in the same fashion and then just replace the two. Maybe I'll use the other one as a giveaway piece at some point, so keep your eyes peeled on the channel. You never know what you'll find. But we've got the Mola. I'm very excited for Adam Steiner's Axeman. Here's Vulcan Rider's Bushwhacker. And then we've got the Hatamoto Chi. You guys remember playing that in Ghost Bear's Legacy. And we got us what looks like a wolfhound here. Whose is that? Let's see. Oh, it doesn't say like who they belong to. I haven't seen that cartoon in so long I couldn't tell you who the other two belong to. I only know Vulcan Rider, Adam Steiner, and that's about it. Let's crack that pack. Alright, here's Vulcan Rider for you. Let's get that guy out there. Oh, he's stepping on something.
Bushwhackers are cool.
Yeah, that looks like the missile pod of a mad dog. So yeah, he's stepping over the enemy. That's a neat little set dressing that they put on there. Of course, we'll get to the big fatty boomalatti right here, the Moolah. He's the big man on campus, and he doesn't mind letting you know that's not an autocannon 2 in his side torso. Oh yeah, he's just happy to see it. Of course, we've got Adam Steiner. You made one big mistake. You invaded my whole planet. I'm going to have the talented Sam Ling paint that one up of Key City Mini. If you haven't checked him out on Instagram, you absolutely should. I'll put his link in the bio. Anyway, Hatamoto Chi. His chi is alive. Yeah, looking very Japanese there. And you know what? He's got the little flaggies down here. So, I'm going to look forward to painting that. And last but not least, the Wolfhound.
I like the action pose.
Yeah, that pose. That little kneeling pose. Kneel before Zod. Yeah, he looks solid. What do you think?
Definitely solid.
That would be kind of like neat to do as a diorama piece. You know what I'm saying? Like you could build a diorama and use that as a specific, like, this is in action instead of static.
Right.
But all in all, Somerset Strikers, I'm excited because now I can actually go and take my old first Somerset Strikers source book, the scenario guide that I have, and then I can actually use these and we can actually play those friggin' scenarios now. We can film those scenarios. We can do battle reps on that kind of thing. I'm sorry, Jeff. I still gotta torture you with some more Inner Sphere goodness. This is the Inner Sphere Assault Lance. Got your Goliath, your Shogun, Pillager, Hoplite. Alright. Pillager, one of my big time faves. I like to paint it up to look like the Green Mountain Boys, the Mercenaries. Call them Soggy Bottom Boys. Alright, and here we got the Shogun. Nice. Who's the master? Shogun. Alright. Solid. The Pillager. Now, I could use this in Legends if I really wanted to for Storm and Michael Searcy, if y'all ever read that novel. Yeah, he got teeth. Man, he is looking gnarly. Here's our Goliath. Another one of those inanimate carbon rods right there in the middle. He's looking pretty solid. A little antennae up there, very nice addition. Even the underside is detailed here. See, you see the vents and such. Very cool. I am them hoplites. I admittedly don't know much about this mech. It's not something I've used a whole heck of a lot, so I can't say. It looks bizarre, I'll tell you that. It looks like they put a Whopper Jr. and like an olive with a French fry on top of a bunch of legs and just said, "Get out there, kid, it's food handler's permit time." You want to play burger time? This is your mech. The Draconis Combine Mustard Soldiery needs you. I'm not going to torture you much longer. I've only got one more inner sphere for you, and that is the inner sphere Recon land. So you got your Ost Scout there. Looks like the Firestata, the Twisted Firestata. The Javelin, and is that a Spectre?
Oh, that's
Regina
cool.
Spectre.
That's cool.
Great Spectre.
They're fast.
Oh, as I say, you don't mind specters? Well, then you won't mind being haunted tonight, I suppose. That Twisted Firestata. Solid. I love that helmet. Reminds me of, like, Super Metroid. If anybody else can see that resemblance, I know I do. The Jav. The SRM variant, not exactly my favorite. I'm more of a Fire Javelin type. I don't know about you, but it looks like a solid machine. Here is our Spectre. He's got that running pose there.
Better.
He looks like he's gritting his teeth, or like smiling in an evil fashion with that face. Oh, that looks sweet on the back. And Lost Scout with his bevy of advanced sensor arrays that he carries in his arms, according to the lore. He's got a little dual backpack there that's adorbs. That's all he needs. He'd be like, whee! Alright, I've made you wait long enough.
Yay.
I'm not gonna make you wait anymore.
Yay.
Alright, we got the Clan Direct Firestar, Jeff.
That's what I'm
Your
looking-
torture is over.
That's what I'm
Your
looking
day
for.
of deliverance has finally arrived.
He's
What have we
lucky.
got? The Highlander 2C there. We got the Phoenix Hawk 2C. Rifleman 2C, that's a Grizzly. And there's your boy, the Bane, but it's the autocannon Bane. So, I mean,
whatever.
not your personal favorite, but I
Right.
mean, you know, beggars can't be choosers. At least you got a plastic one to begin with, right?
Right.
So, pros to cons on that one. But let's crack it and attack it. All right, there's our Rifleman. Now, I remember back in the day, I had one of these, and the arms just snapped off, so I never owned another metal one. Very excited to see that in plastic where the arms won't break. All right, Highlander. Looking real sweet.
I like
I
it.
used this in one of our annual games. I just can't remember which one it was. I would have to go back and take a look. Phoenix Hawk, he's looking beefy. Look at his face.
I
Looks
like them.
angry. He looks like he's got some kind of Halloween mask on. The Man in the Iron Mask style. And those jump jets are just gnarly. The detail, because I got two of them in there. That's neat. Just as detailed on the underside as usual. That's cool. And then on this end, Grizzly. I know one of our friends of the show, Bear, will be happy to have the Grizzly in his collection finally. With that layered look on the back there. Looks kind of like chainmail almost on the back. You know, right in there, whatever that is. And we saved the best for last, at least for your
Yes.
sake. Zebane.
All right.
What do you think of this one, even though it's the autocannon version?
I still like it. I'll still play it.
Yeah, you know, when you want to kick back at 30 hexes and plink your opponent to death with 1,000 paper cuts, you dial 1-900 Bane, baby.
I will still play it.
That's fair. And our last clanners is the Clan Cavalry Star.
All right.
In this one, we've got the Black Python, Shadowhawk 2C, Griffin 2C, Jenner 2C, and Locust 2C. So, let's crack it. Alright, let's pick out the favorite first. My favorite, anyway. The Black Python, otherwise known as the Viper, otherwise known as the Veritech fighter on khaki bird legs. They just said, the heck with it. Let's mix Big Bird with a jet fighter. Get out there, kid. It's physics. What else do you need to know? Play Danger Zone. And that's pretty much where they went with that. The Griffin 2C, and we all know how I feel about the Griffin 2C, don't we? Yes, we do. He's coming. I believe that's 2 regular 6 racks and a streak 4. It's got some jump jets. Alright. Now this has really never done anything for me, this design of the Locust 2C, I don't know. I guess I just got real used to the original design from that TRO, but what do you think about this look of it?
Well, I mean, it's a Locust. I'm not even even a clan Locust. I'm not.
Wow, the lowly Locust gets no love.
Not for me.
And then we finally have the Shadowhawk 2C with those vents and that protruding chest there. That looks again a lot like that old TRO 3055 art, the color version that they stole from whatever it was they stole it from. But I mean, I still love the look of that, all in all. So, now, these are your two clan stars that you got.
Yep.
What's your overall thoughts on both?
They're going right into my galaxy that I have for them, so I have a home for all of them.
I was going to say, there's not a single unit wasted then.
I don't think so.
How very clan-like of you.
Yes.
Let's move on to the minutia, folks. The little bitty things that make the order pop. At the end of the day, we got our patches. You know, we had to get the drags, the Wolf's Dragoons. Big shout out to the Taskmaster, Patrick Saul of Battletalk International. Fellow Dragoon, fellow canon character. What's up, what's up? The Crescent Hawks. You know, I had to get those just because of the Crescent Hawks Revenge and all my fond memories playing that game. I know you're not a big patch guy, but I mean, just on the look of it. Wouldn't that be neat?
Very,
like if...
Yeah, they're very beautiful. I mean, the artwork is really good. The color is really good.
Especially if somebody just came in and had it like on their backpack or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And then we've got this bevy of challenge coins here, which I will get a good look at. So we've got our Wolf's Dragoons here. We saw these at Kerensky Con. Those are looking pretty sweet. Here's yours, Ghost Bear Dominion.
Yes.
Very cool. Aerodynamic Light Horse, one of my personal favorite units. Then we've got the Black Thorns, and on the other side they've got other stuff. So there's like a mech on that one, and a different one on, what is that? That looks like a Spectre maybe on that side? I can't tell. And then we got a Shogun for the Dragoons, and then on the Ghost Bear Dominion it looks like we've got a Grizzly. Pretty sweet patches overall, but the challenge coins are nifty too. What do we got moving down the line? We got, this is for me, Legends 2, Legends 2. Now, we all know how I feel about Legends. We all know I'm putting that game together and I'm updating it regularly all the time. So, excited to peel through Legends. I'm not going to sit here and go over the itty-bitty bits and pieces of it, but I mean, hey, they've got some pretty cool, pilots in here. Tira Miraborg, Marcus Giovanti, Pohiro, and his custom direwolf. So, take a look at that. Now, I can't really use the flash here because they're so reflective, but you see what I'm looking at here. It's a full color record sheet. I even love what they got with the heat scale here, how it starts off at, white, moves up to yellow, up to red there, and it's like when you're in heat overflow, it's all over but the crying. And then, like I say, on the other side of this, you've got some other kind of sheet. And this one looks like just a standard Grizzly, but that's an interesting paint job. And you've got record sheets like this for so many different mechs. I mean, look how many of these there are. You see what I'm saying? There's easily like 40, 50 record sheets here, if not more. And you've got Quick Draw, Jaeger mech here, Oz Scout, Spectre. So all the stuff that comes in these sets that you're getting here, I would be willing to wager a coat that you are getting a record sheet.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, wouldn't that be cool?
That would be cool.
And then, to continue that trend, see, they also put some quick start record sheets in here too that are very much the same as those ones. They're the full color ones that you get from the beginner boxes. Right. But what they're doing here, you can tell they've got the Spectre and Star Slayer there, and the Dervish here, Pillager. These are all mercenary specific quick start record sheets. So that means for game masters, if you want to take the mercenary stuff specifically and run a quick start game, either with your kids or with somebody who's a beginner, you can actually use the stuff that came in the Mercenaries box set here because they have custom sheets for it.
Nice.
So that's pretty sweet. But I know you have been looking forward to the Savannah map pack, while I myself have been on that map pack City Riz Daddy, because I'm the king of the concrete jungle. Now, what do you think of this? I think this is your first time laying eyes on it.
I like it. I definitely want to get this stuff used.
And see, I'm a big fan of these rubble counters and things like this, because I always like putting this kind of junk on the battlefield, and then see on the other side here you've got buildings. You know, so it's like rubble on one side, building on the other. Here, let's
Ah.
get a close-up look at that, because that's just too sweet. So
So
see, you've got rubble on this side, and then you flip it over, and they've got buildings
yes.
on that side. So, you know, I guess it says depth 1, level 2. That's weird. I wonder how that works. But yeah, it's double-sided, so you can get more than one thing out of it. Well, here's a biggie for you, and I know that he's had problems with this in the past on other mats where this typeface is not well defined. But look, all of the depths and the annotations for the woods, the levels, things like that, what they are is they are black font with a white outline on them. So even from a distance, you can tell that there is an annotation on that hex, and then even from a ways away, that white to black contrast makes it sharper for you to be able to see it. So, and I remember you would try to move over things and be like, oh, I'd say, no, that's a mountain. I didn't see that level elevation.
Right,
Or I didn't know that was a tree or whatever.
Right.
But now it says it on there clear as day for you. So I know that'll be a big plus for you.
I like it.
And last but not least, we are coming to the end with our posters right before we get to the unboxing of the blinds. So let's take a look at this stuff. This is our Battle Mech Recognition poster.
Okay.
So like on one side of it, it's just got like a bunch of different mechs and things, so you can see there. And then there's Big Mac on the attack here, which we've got on the board behind us. Kind of wanted to put that up there. So it's like a recognition guide. If you remember the old Battle Mech recognition cards from way back in the day, I'll have a copy of those here real soon. But this is kind of like something you could slap on your wall and just have that instant visual reference. So if you're putting together games and you're looking for forces and you're just drawing a blank because your brain is fried, you've been looking at this stuff for far too long, like I have. If it happens to me, it probably happens to you too. You throw this stuff up on the wall and then you don't have to think too hard about it. You just go, oh yeah, that looks, I like the way that looks. And you could just have it right there in front of you and someone has already done the work of compiling it. And you don't have to go through and, you see what I'm saying?
I like
so
it.
Posters like that are useful for that reason. We got the Battletech Encounter set. If we can get some non-glare. There we go. And we already had one of these, and I knew this was coming with the order, but still now I'll be able to give Ryan a fresh copy and say, hey, thanks for the loaner that we drove all over the country. But all right.
That's a fun game.
And if you don't know how to play, well, just so happens that we have a video right here on the channel. Man, imagine that. I'm going to put a link to it up at the top of the screen here. When you're done with this, you should totally go watch that. Now we're going to get our old pal, Mr. Stabby. He's back from vacation and he's missed you all very much. So do us a big solid and leave a comment. Tell Mr. Stabby exactly how much you missed him, because he's back and he's in action and he's ready for cracking. Let's do it, baby. We got your first Salvage Box Legendary Mech Warrior. One random Legendary Mech Warrior for you. Who will you get? Let's find out. You have a Marauder. It is Abdon Recool's Marauder. Dun 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 dun. Abdon Recool's Marauder. That's what you get.
Oh, okay.
So, how do you feel?
Well, it's Inner Sphere, so, but I mean, a Marauder.
So you're like, meh.
It's alright.
I mean, I guess if you're going to get an Inner Sphere mech, a Marauder is the one to get.
Sure, definitely.
Alright, Stabby, bring us some luck on the second one of his. We've got another random legendary mech warrior. Who do you pull? This time, you got a clanner. It is the Loki Prime Mark II.
Yay!
Yep, so a clan mech.
Alright.
There you go.
I like it.
So I guess that comes from the Bounty Hunter set.
Right, yes.
So, Mishi Frazier, a 0-0 pilot.
Okay.
I mean, you can't go wrong.
Right.
Alright, so
Nice.
you got one
So-
clan,
so-
one Inner Sphere.
I got at least one clan, so I'm good. So if this is an Inner Sphere, it's like, alright.
Keep going. It is a Goliath.
Alright.
Pulled the Goliath.
I mean, I
Hey,
don't
Davey,
mind.
You should totally fire on those civilians. No, I get it. Hey, Davey. No, Goliath, that would be wrong. What do you think?
That was before your time. Hell, that cartoon was before my time.
All right, you got a blood asp. Let's take a look at that. Hey, Davey. All right.
I barely remember that cartoon.
Anyway, here's your blood asp, and it's looking fine. It's looking sexy. Let's get a close-up here. Take a look. Grab that and see what you think of it.
I'm all about clan assaults.
Yeah.
All day, every day.
He's looking real good.
Twice on Sunday.
And we all know how I feel about the Blood Asp, especially after Paws vs. Claws Part 2. Where, you know, we double KO'd each other. Me and Rally just went bing bing, a Turkina and a Blood Asp just shot each other right in the head. Particle cannon on one, and like I think a laser large pulse on the other, and it was like bing bing dead. I mean, how else could you want to go in the battle for Terra but with honor and glory as you die in combat?
Yeah.
And the only non-clanner that you pulled here is the Marauder. Abdun Recol's Marauder. So, out of all of that, you still pulled, what, 3 out of 4 clanners?
But the Goliath you threw away.
Oh, yeah, okay, so there was that one. He's over there hanging out with Davey, doing all kinds of crazy war crimes. I gotta call Jared D. Pastine.
I'm happy with that.
That ain't bad. That ain't bad. Now,
I'm happy with that. Let's see what you got.
I got my own, so let's find out where this is going. Take your Blood Asp. Alright, my first, I will start with a random Mercenaries box. So this could be just any random mech.
Right.
Let's find out by fucking around. Here we go, kids. Here we go. I'm pulling a Griffin 2C. Hey. Imagine that. Pew, 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 pew. Yeah, baby. Oh, very cool. That is highly satisfying, I won't lie. Let's go to my next salvage box, random mercenary. What will I get? Mr. Stabby has brought me a Vulcan. I do enjoy the Vulcan. You know, as a 40-tonner, you know, you're looking for some light scout up for, you can't go wrong. And then I've got one random legendary mech warrior. Who am I getting out of the legends? Who will it be? I will get the Warhammer. This is the Bounty Hunter Warhammer.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it would be Kayudo 2-2. So that would be the first legend. I have one more legend. My next legend pull. Come on, Mr. Stabby. Bring me some money! Money, money, money. Oh yeah, Money Marauder, baby. I got my own Abdun Recool Marauder.
Okay.
Alright. Who's cool like Abdun Recool? You just don't know. Now, I got a couple other things over here. That ain't the end of it. I've got a Savannah box, or Savannah Master box. Salvage box, Savannah Master, 4 Savannah Masters.
Okay.
Let's have a look at these bad boys. Everybody knows that old trope of, oh, you're taking a lance? Cool, I'd like 500 Savannah Masters, please. If you ever showed up to the table, I would politely but firmly ask you to leave. So please take that back home with you, wherever it is you came from. All right, now these are coming in this little bag here, so let me get these out. Look at these tiny little things.
Oh my god. You lose these things.
Oh, I know I would. I'm going to have to glue them on there.
Holy cow.
Phenomenal cosmic power! Itty bitty living space. But I mean, you know, they look alright here. Let's get a real close-up of one. See if I can't get that focus. Focus, focus. Alamagocus. There we go. We got it. We have the Visigoth. Visigoth, I don't know if he's a goth. We're going to find out how goth he really is. Now, I know aerospace ain't your thing.
No.
But just try to appreciate the cool factor of the entire thing. Keiru, Niren, and let's see who else is in here. Is that the only pilot? Yep. Based on the cool factor alone, does it fit the 80s rule of cool? That's what we're going for here.
Well, yes. I mean, as a design, as a plane, I mean, on its own, it is very cool looking.
You see it? I haven't actually laid eyes on it.
I mean, I have no idea what it does in the game.
Well,
so,
let's get a close-up of it and just, we'll let you decide.
But as a model in and of its own, I do like it.
I mean, it looks pretty sweet. I'm not gonna lie. Kind of like an interesting unit to be like, we're playing jets, that kind of thing. But, you know, it's cool. I can't remember what the other one that we got on the last Kickstarter was, but aerospace doesn't really do a whole heck of a lot for me. I gotta find someone who can explain that to me like I'm 5 years old so I can actually understand the rules, because that's like my biggest challenge with the aerospace is I just have no idea how any of that junk works, so... But, Jeff, unfortunately, we have come to an end, as all good things eventually must. That concludes our unboxing for today, folks, and if you like what you've seen so far, do us a big favor and hit that subscribe bell down there. Turn on all notifications so you can find out exactly where Battlebound is going to turn up next. And don't forget, folks, Battlebound has a Patreon at patreon.com/battlebound. Sign up today to enjoy those benefits tomorrow. I'm Tuck Davian for my broadcast partner, Jeff Snyder, and we're sure looking forward to seeing you next time right here out on the Space Lanes.
Be sure to smash our like button and subscribe to our channel.
Crowdfunding is when lots of people give you small amounts of money to help your passion project come to life.